He quietly had a big night last night. What do you have, 35? Man, you want to talk about an effortless 35.
That's kind of him. He kind of has those nights and nobody really notices.
And it's weird because I always think what could have been with Kyrie. Now, he still has a few years left playing at a high level. But I don't know how we'll look back. I don't know how history will treat Kyrie Irving. Probably, okay, here's a parallel. He's kind of like Aaron Rodgers. Now, Rodgers was MVP, 4 times, but won a Super Bowl. Kyrie won an NBA championship by hitting the shot over Steph Curry. But, they're kind of enigmas. In fact, his documentary was called Enigma, Aaron Rodgers. They're polarizing. Were they great teammates? It just feels like there's a what could have been or should they have been better? Because Aaron Rodgers should have been better. If you look at his postseason, even when they had home field advantage, he didn't produce. But we always hear, maybe the most talented quarterback. Kyrie could be the most talented player we've seen. And that includes Mike. That includes Magic or whoever you want to throw in there. Kyrie, guys, it's one of those when you talk to NBA players or former players, they're like, man, Kyrie. But he played, 11 games at Duke and was the number 1 overall pick. He could have played 3 games. He could have just done warm-ups and probably been the number 1 pick. You could see it. But there's still that mystery to him of, I don't know. All-Star 9 times, but still, you're kind of like, when I'm watching the game last night, it's like, all right, Kyrie. You kind of forget. He went to Dallas, and it didn't disappear, but he was in a big shadow there. And, I don't know. It feels unsatisfied, unfulfilled. Yes, Mark.
Yeah, I think one of the most disappointing teams ever is the Brooklyn Nets team with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. 2 of, I don't know, put them on the short list of they have everything.
Yeah.
There's nothing either one of them can't do. And they just came up short because of injuries or whatever, and they could just never put it together. But you say, hey, I got those 2 on the floor.
That's an advantage that nobody else had. Like when you talk about duos, when you have those 2, and that's a decided advantage, but they could never get over the top. Now you could say, when Durant's foot's on the line and doesn't get credit for a 3, I understand all of those things. Kyrie did hit one of the biggest shots in NBA history. They ran a design play for him to go against Steph Curry, and he hits the jumper. I don't know if we're going to look back. I think it'll be more of a curiosity. And it really should be, this is going to sound strange, but a reminder to Ja Morant. Be more. Don't just be what you are. Be more. And I know that won't sink in, but don't be that guy who, oh, yeah, man, he had talent. And that's what we'll say. Kyrie, golly, as good a ball handler as we've ever seen. Great in traffic, right hand, left hand. He could do it all. Like he was an undersized shooting guard. But these younger players, don't just be one of those, wow, curiosity. Be great. Like Zion Williamson. When it's all said and done, we'll go, he had his moments. Or, wow, you should have seen him at Duke. And he had a good month. I don't know. It's there, but learn from the greats who weren't satisfied with just being great. They wanted to be all-timers. And I don't know. Kyrie has so many different interests. And maybe it wasn't that important to him. Like, for me, I can't understand it. God, you have that much talent. Like, I'd kill for that. But maybe because he's got all that talent, it just came natural to him. And not that he does it work, but I don't know. I just think he'll be a curiosity. I think he'll be an almoster. He'll be an almoster where he goes, he top 25, top 30. He's not going to have the numbers. And he has one championship. if he gets another one, I don't know. Yeah, Mark.
It's weird because I can't put my finger on what the issue was, because to me, I would never question his dedication. You can't dribble the ball that well and not be dedicated to the game. You cannot. The left hand, right hand, that level of skill, him and Kevin Durant, those two guys, I will never question whether they're committed to being great basketball players. To me, those two guys were just almost like mercenaries. Like, I'm just here to play. Kevin Durant, be a leader. Leader, man, I just want to hoop.
No, but I think Durant is truly a basketball player. I don't think Kyrie is. I think Kyrie is great at being a basketball player. It's kind of like when I ask Andrew Luck, were you a football player or were you really good at playing football? Durant just loves to play ball. I don't know if Kyrie, that's the most important thing to him. And maybe it's not. And look, it's not up to me to, project and say, you need to be. I see greatness. I've been around greatness for a long, long, long time. And you see the difference guys make each year. They add, they graduate, they get better. They're at a different level. And Kyrie has been this, like, for as long as I can remember. I just remember it's Kyrie. And we say the same stuff every single time. He might be the most talented player in the NBA. He's got the best handle in the NBA. Like, what's missing? I don't know. Is he a competitor? Does he want to go out there and crush you?
I don't know. Is there something missing, though? Like, what?
I don't know. That's the big question I think I'll probably always have is, and I've read articles about him with people close to him with quotes, and I don't know if that's who he is. That, hey, I want to go out there. Mike and Isaiah, Bird, Matt, they wanted to crush you. But Kareem didn't. I don't think Kareem wanted to crush you. I just think he was a great basketball player. And once again, there's nothing wrong with that. But there's certain players where it feels like it means more to them, their identity. I'm like, I have to win. We question LeBron's drive. He wasn't Mike. He doesn't want to kill you. Well, here he is, 22 years later, still playing at a high level. Maybe Kyrie's not wired that way. But I think I'll always look at his career, look back and go, what could have been or should have been with him? Same way I do Aaron Rodgers. What could have been, should have been. Yeah, Paul.
Remember there was about a 6 or 7 year window when Dwayne Wade was the best combo guard in the league, and he was awesome. He's flying around, averaging 30, doing everything. It feels like Kyrie never got to that height where it's like that is the best guard in basketball, and there's no debate, and you want to see him, where it's his team, and everything works around him. Kyrie had seasons where he averaged 27, but like you said, it didn't feel like Dwayne Wade's 27.
It didn't feel threatening. It felt entertaining. Dwayne Wade felt threatening. If I'm going against him, he threatened me. But Kyrie, I was just kind of entertained by him. Although in that series against Golden State, that was big-time basketball. Cannot argue one of the biggest plays in NBA history. He could do it. I just don't know how important it was. And he won the Finals MVP. Yes, Marv.
But the thing is, you say that, they just got to the finals last year with Kyrie and Luka. Kyrie was going all, I know, and it's hard because he's in a big shadow. Kyrie, when successful, has always been in a big shadow. With LeBron, obviously, enormous shadow. But they don't win that without Kyrie. Remember, Game 5, 41 points. It was 41-41. They were playing a lot of your turn, my turn.
I know.
And poor Steph Curry was on skates. He couldn't do anything with him. So I get it, but it was one of those things where I'm going to disagree as far as that level of skill, because there's nothing genetic that makes him superior to somebody in front of him. He's 6'2", maybe, and he's doing all this stuff that most guards, besides outside of Isaiah Thomas, Tim Hardaway, can do. Not even they could do what Kyrie could do.
It's just a curiosity. I think he's a curiosity. I'm fascinated. There's a fascination to him. But do I want him on my team? I don't. Do I like watching him? Yes. But I don't know. I don't know what he gives you more than he'll give you numbers, but I think there's so much more. And I'm nitpicking here, but we're talking about one of the greatest talents of all time. Well, what's the first thing you're going to say? How accomplished was he? What's he known for? I mean, he could be known for COVID. He could be known for bouncing around. He could be known, that shot. He could be just like Aaron Rodgers. So that's why I don't know. I know it's on a tangent here, but it's generational talent. It truly is. And last night, you just get tapped on the shoulder sometimes. Because I've watched the Mavericks play when he was there, and I don't know he's there. But when he is there, you can't take your eyes off of him. He won his title at 24. Rodgers won his at 27. Talk about, if I would have said neither's going to win another title, you would have been, I can't imagine that. Yeah, Mark.
And also, him asking to be traded from Cleveland a year after, that hurt his career because he wanted, quote unquote, his own team. And then he kind of realized, man, I was so young and I thought this was always going to be the norm.
Well, it was his team. LeBron comes back. They win the title. He realizes it's not his team. He goes to Boston. That's a disaster. Then all of a sudden you're going to hook up with Durant. And we thought, okay. And I thought they were going to the Knicks. But they go to Brooklyn. That doesn't work out either. And then he ends up in Dallas. I don't think this is his last stop, but he's going to be a Hall of Fame player. And I thought he was great in Uncle Drew.